In a day, I got 200,000 followers in one day. I just kept sobbing. Like I would like check my phone and be like, I have another 100,000, and Steve Aoki commented. Like, I was like
Wow.
sobbing. Yeah.
This podcast is about you, your journey in music, and how you got to where you are now.
Amazing. I also love that we're both wearing orange shirts.
Right?
Not sure if they'll be able to see me, but now they know.
They know it's you. Well, I appreciate it. So, well, first off, tell me, are you in LA now?
Yeah, I'm in West Hollywood.
Okay, right on. But originally from Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that.
I'm from Providence. I love Rhode Island. Very, very different energy than LA, but yeah, it definitely influenced my sound, and I had a band there growing up. Yeah, I love my hometown.
That's amazing. Well, talk to me about how you got into music.
I started writing songs when I was 7 years old. And I just like, it was very innate. Like I just, it just made sense for me to write music.
At 7, though? At 7 years old? Wow.
Yeah, and they're actually good songs. Like I still like know the melodies in my head.
Really?
Yeah, I mean they're actually they're like I pretty much exclusively listened to like the Beatles, and Taylor Swift, and I was also really into Nora Jones and Alanis Morissette. So those were like my four,
solid inspirations.
Yeah, amazing pop artists, and that's like my goal is just to be like the best pop writer that I can be. But yeah, those were my inspirations.
Have you ever taken any of the melodies from your songs you wrote when you're 7 and implemented them in what you're doing now?
I have. I have awesome. Actually. I'm like, no one will know, but I will. So
that's so cool. So at 7, you started writing songs, but what was the first instrument you learned?
Guitar. Yeah, I saw Sheryl Crow and I was like, she is so cool and I want to be her. And so my mom bought me a guitar. My grandpa had some like old Spanish guitars, which I originally picked up, and I was like, yeah, I want one of these. But yeah, I started taking lessons when I was like 8 and continued that till I was like 14, and then just kept playing. It's definitely like I like being able to play piano, and just as a different writing tool. Usually I am drawn to different chords on different instruments, so it's nice to kind of start songs on different things to see what vibes can come out writing wise.
So when you play piano, you play piano now?
More as a writing tool. Okay. Yeah, I love performing with guitar mostly.
And then you picked that up at 8. So how were you writing songs at 7? Just melodies and coming up with like little lyrics?
Oh yeah. So I mean I grew up doing professional theater, and I remember the theater that I would perform at, they made us get these little mini recorders, and we would record, and they would want us to like practice our singing on the recorders, I guess. But I just started using it essentially as a voice memo.
Wow. And like a recording device, not like a recorder.
Like a literal, like there was batteries in it and like buttons. And wow. Yeah, so I would like, I had a notebook. I would write everything out in my notebook, and I would kind of, I don't know how, before I had that recorder, I was just like, I have to make this song as catchy as possible so that I can remember it. And if I don't remember it in the morning, it was a bad song. So I'd like challenge myself. And that's actually what the Beatles used to do, because they would just be like, it has to be really fucking catchy, otherwise it's bad.
Right. Wow. It's amazing that you are picking that up at such an early age, young age. Yeah. 7, to be like, okay, if I wake up in the morning and I can't remember the song.
Yeah, I would like challenge myself. I was such a serious kid. Like I was like, if this song, like if I don't remember it, like fuck, I gotta get better. Like I was so hard on myself. I still am, for sure. But I think that's like why I just having that like competitive nature, I think is like why I got good at it. But yeah, I would like perform these songs for my parents' friends, and um they would be like, "Wow, that's so cute. Like, you're adorable." And I would be like, "It's not cute, bitch. This is my career. Like, I'm gonna be a major pop artist someday, and you're calling me cute." Like,
That's so cool. Like, so you already had this ambition to be a musician, like
yeah,
right
I've
out
like
the
never
gate.
thought about it differently than like all this stuff is happening now,
Right.
but my vision for it has been this forever, like since I was a baby. Like
Interesting.
I never was like I will like I planned on, you know, not ditching college, you know, like I planned on all of this since I was a child.
You knew right away, I'm not going to school. I'm just going
No.
to be a musician and I'm going to figure it out as I go along.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, if I'm this intense about it, there's no way it's not gonna work. So my
There you
parents
go.
like have no choice.
I like that. I've heard before that if you have a plan B or if you have a backup plan, you will fall on it.
I love that. Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's almost like
That's
you already
it's
had that, like,
horrifying.
yeah, it's like, well, if
Horrifying.
I have something to back up, fall back on, then it's like a safety net. So if you pull the safety
Yeah.
net, it's like you have no other means of doing anything except for trying to figure it
Yeah, it's
out.
almost like you don't want to fuck the manifestations. Like that's
Sure.
always I was like doubting. This is something I actually was talking about the other day. I was writing about this the other day, where it's kind of like you can't talk about being scared or doubting yourself until you've made it. Like until you've had any sense of success, because then you're just like afraid, which is unfair. But I always was like, like I don't want to like throw off the way that I'm thinking about things. But obviously, like it's a really it's an industry that's almost impossible to make it in. So obviously, like I considered plan B's and what if this doesn't work. And I was having kind of like a crisis moment right before my song blew up. I was like, what if like this just doesn't happen? Like, you know, and like I've believed this for so long, like what if it just doesn't? But I really do think for people who are talented and believe in themselves enough and work really hard, like there's nothing like it's just a matter of time for some people. Some people just quit too soon.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Yeah, I feel like you're always like this close to success. I mean, not always, but a lot of people
Yeah.
get that close and then they just give up because it's like this is too hard. I've been doing this for 3 years now or 5 years now, and I'm not seeing
Yeah.
it. But think of a lot of. I mean, there's a handful of artists that pushed into. They weren't successful until their 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, but
I know. It's really it's those stories are things that like I always cling to be like, you got this, like keep going. Like Gal Gadot was about to quit acting and then she was cast as Wonder Woman. Like, you know,
right.
it's nice to hear those stories. They're comforting.
Totally, totally. So, well, I'm curious to know at 7, 8 years old, you're writing these songs. Like, when does it progress? You said you were in a band. Like, was that much later? And were you playing, aside from playing these songs in front of your parents' friends, like, when did you start
Yeah,
playing
we
out
would
a
play at
bit?
the lemonade stand. That was the first thing we would do. I was like, we'll make so much more money than the kids across the street if we have original songs. So that's how that started. And like we would have like the parents like pay us to play at the birthday parties next. This was like third grade. And then
Wow. So you had a whole band in third grade?
yeah, it was this is kind of fucked up. It was I entered a band that was pre-existing. They were called Double Decker. It was me and then this guy Lars who played the buckets. We didn't have drums. And then Maddie, we would write the songs together and we both played guitar and sang. I joined Double Decker, we became Triple Decker, and then we fired Lars and became Double Decker again, which
So you
is
fired the
so
drummer, or the
it
the
was
or the
yeah, we were
the
all
bucket
neighbors
player?
too. We
Okay.
did. Anyway, he actually ended up then playing in my band in high school. Like years later, he actually did become my real life drummer. He became a drummer. But yeah, that was a very dramatic. We were like, it was incredibly dramatic. But yeah, I went to a school that was pretty experimental. I am very unstructured. It was founded by Bill Gates. There's no classes, no tests, like very, very experimental. I went there on purpose so that I could like really craft out everything I would need, like all the tools I would need to then just like move to LA right after high school. So yeah, I would like intern with Berkeley kids, and I was just like, teach me your things, and like then I don't have to go to college. But yeah, so in that, it was like one of my things for English class. I'll like create a band, like super unstructured. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah, like what is this school? I'm surprised
yeah,
Bill Gates organized this.
yeah, it was all focused around entrepreneurship. Was like the class that you could have was entrepreneurship. At one of they're called big picture learning schools. One of the girls who went there ended up winning because they offer you business competitions and you can like pitch. I pitched being a singer. Like obviously I didn't get any money, but one of the girls ended up creating cake pops for Starbucks. So
no
it's really
way.
yeah, it's insane. Like I think there should be a
Wow.
lot more schools that like, you know,
Yeah,
help
that is
kids
rad. It's like
think.
Shark Tank.
Yeah, I mean it literally I went to school at Shark Tank. But yeah, I went to when I was there, I was like, where are the best musicians? And I like sat in on all the prep school jazz auditions, and I was like, I want you to be my drummer and you to be my bassist. So I like put together a little band. It was like we just went by EMELINE. Like it was just my music that I wrote, and then like I would teach them the songs, and yeah, we would cover lots of like Arctic Monkeys and like
Cool.
that type of music. So that was sort of like that realm for me. Very like alternative, almost like alternative rock for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I guess it turned more pop. And when I moved here, I just got in with as many people as I could, and also wrote for other artists. And yeah, just wanted to get as good as possible.
So when you graduated high school, right away you just knew you were coming to LA?
Uh, yes and no. I actually had deferred to college to be a director
Oh,
and
really?
artist and musician. Yeah, I was gonna like major in directing and music and also acting, which is something that I have done my whole life. Um, when I moved here, music became like so clearly my priority. But yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna go, but I was cast in a film, which is what originally like took me to be physically in LA, and then I moved into an artist house. I was living with 30 people in a house, which was
30?
yeah, and like
30?
essentially a closet. I was living with six girls. We had bunk
That sounds
beds,
like a
and
commune.
it essentially was. It was like four bunk beds. All the bunk beds touched each other. That's how small the room was. And I didn't, yeah, I just moved there from Rhode Island, like at 18, like,
So you moved you got
and I
you
stayed
got
there
this.
for 8 months. 8 months.
Oh my God. Wait, so
Like
you
with 40-year-old men. Like I was like, didn't know. I can't believe I did that.
what?
But
Okay, real quick.
I met
You're
some of my best friends there, though.
that's cool. And this is just what, like a house in the Hollywood Hills or something, or like where's this house?
Yeah, they have a few houses around. But I think they just like rent it for cheaper to people who don't want to pay. Like it was like $700, I think, which is still a lot for
That's
living
a
with that
lot
many.
to
A
live with
lot,
30
yeah.
people.
Yeah, but I was like, is
Jeez.
it this or is it like I was like, I don't know anyone here. Like I'm not going to school. So I was supposed to live there for like a month before going to college, and then the college had a rule that you couldn't like do outside projects, and I was like, what's the point of living in LA? Like I want to be working on music and, you know, trying to book roles. So I just like kept deferring, and then I accidentally lived there for 8 months, and
Whoops.
yeah, and now I live alone and will never live with anyone ever again. But
So you scored this role in a film, and that's what took you to LA? Is that what you said? And you got this
yeah,
role when you were
that's what
in
brought
Rhode
me
Island,
here.
and then it brought you to LA.
Yeah, I mean, I'm primarily like a theater actress.
Okay.
I dabbled in film, and then it was like very clear that music was my purpose.
Okay.
But that is what physically brought me here for sure.
So when you get
I
to
was like,
Los
I'm not leaving.
Angeles,
I'm not going back to Rhode Island. We're going to college, so
okay.
yeah.
Well, when you get to LA and how do you cut your teeth in music there? I mean, obviously it's a huge city. There's a lot going on. Like, do you start networking with people? Like, how do you even get involved?
Yeah. Well, so when I was at the alternative school, I made this like a part of my learning. It was called like a learning plan. And I like networked with a bunch of, I mean, I would just scour the internet. I essentially would like look for talent. And like, I actually like found Phineas, like, and Billy, like before they blew up. And like, I found
Wow.
like, there was a lot of like people who ended up blowing up that I was like, you're really cool, dude. Like, we should talk, like we should work.
Uh-huh.
So I just like, got really good at finding people online, and then I, moved here and like built my relationship with those people. So now when everything is happening for me, it's really cool that I have all these connections. But I've been like doing that since I was like in high school. Like I've been
Wow.
honing that and creating all these Google Docs. And so when I moved here, I just DM'd people on Instagram. I was like, "Hey, I'm coming. Like, want to go for a meeting? Like, want to write?" And like, I definitely ended up encountering some like insane people. Like, just going into random strangers like home studios, like with no like I had a taser and a pepper spray, and I would just like
Came prepared.
keep it in my bag. Um, so
I would imagine you didn't have to use it. I would hope.
no, I never did.
That's
Um,
good.
but definitely, I mean, it's a scary world out there, and there's a lot of fucked up shit that happens in this industry. So
Oh
definitely
yeah.
valid to have that. But
Totally agree with you.
yeah, luckily, I mean, yeah, I've had people be like, "Can you tase me?" And I was like, "I don't know if I want to," but
Can you taste me?
luckily, I've never had to use it to like ward off anyone. But
Just people that voluntarily ask to be tased.
yeah, which I kind of like. I don't know. Maybe it would have been fun, but it's okay. I was like, I don't want to accidentally kill anyone, so
Right, right. I was gonna say it's probably not worth the risk.
yeah, probably
Um,
not the vibe.
so you started putting songs out under EMELINE what last year, 2020?
Yeah, it was a lot of like building my sound that I
Hmm.
wanted to, really make sure it was perfect before releasing anything. Um, but yeah, I actually like I think I had to go through a lot of like personal growth to really land on the sound.
Hmm.
I It blew my mind how much. I mean, it sounds like that makes sense, but like they're so connected. But yeah, I started in 2020, and I made um, the two singles that are on my Spotify are "6 Foot Deep" and "Animal." I made those with my friend Oscar Neidhart,
Hmm.
um, and yeah, we just would make music all the time in his backyard. Um, and but yeah, I have like a vault of hundreds of songs. I was
I'd
just like,
imagine. Yeah.
yeah, now it's like go time. I've been waiting for it to be go time for years, so very exciting.
So like did those songs come out of the pandemic, or were those songs you had written prior? Talk to me about where you were when
Yeah,
that all
those
happened.
songs actually are like a few years old at this point.
Okay.
I think yeah, definitely like maybe 2019 I wrote those, 2018.
Hmm.
So I've been working with my friend Oscar for a while. But yeah, the new songs, like it is crazy. Flowers and Sex blew up in the middle of me writing it. This is how I learned to say no. I posted that the 2 days after writing it. So all of this is like live. Like it is
Sure.
just
Wow.
happening.
I
We're
didn't
writing
realize
it.
Flowers and Sex came like it started blowing up before the song was even
No,
finished.
we didn't have a second verse. Like I
Oh, wait, what? Tell me about this.
I
It's crazy.
so originally we started the track like 3 years ago, or yeah, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe like 2018. We had the session. We made the track for it, and I was always obsessed with that drop. Like that drop, it's
Hmm.
my vocals chopped, and we had such a fun day. We were like running around my friend's yard in the valley. We actually chopped down a tree with an axe, and all of this percussion in that is like live recorded off of a Zoom handheld mic. Like we literally were like chopping a tree. All the percussion in the drop is us chopping a tree. But
Really?
yeah, so weird,
That's
but
rad.
iconic, right?
That's so
Um
rad.
yeah, and so I had a completely different top line over that I had written originally, and I was just going through my songs and I was like, this song is really special. Like, I want to revisit it. So I set up another session to work on it, and I brought my friend Rez, who I've been working with him for years. We have a bunch of really songs I'm so excited about that I'm going to be releasing soon. But yeah, we just came in. It was his birthday, so I had bought him flowers. I pulled on the side of the road, like this guy had flowers. And I was like, can I buy these? And so I brought the flowers to the session. We maybe are perverted, but the flowers somewhat looked like a penis. So it was like, there were like two balls on the side, and then it was like a really long stick. And he actually framed, I have them framed in a little glass thing in my room.
You framed the flowers that look like that?
Yeah, he framed the dick flower for me. And then we showed them to everyone. We were like, doesn't it look like a dick? And everybody was like, this literally doesn't look like a dick at all, but whatever. We made an iconic song out of it, so it's fine. But yeah, I mean, I think I like literally I was just like, oh, like I just want flowers and sex. And then like we were all just kind of like, that's kind of a dope like phrase. So that's how the song came about. And it was because of I had bought the flowers, and that's why flowers were on our minds.
Okay. And then how does it
and then I pressed record and I was jamming out. On the ride home, I checked my phone. I had like 100,000 notifications. And I was like,
did it
what's
like get
happening?
shared?
Like all these famous people commented. Like I was like, what the fuck? Okay, let's go. I actually was like, I need to turn around. I need to turn around on the freeway. Guys, I need to go back to the valley. We have to write the second verse.
Wow.
We didn't even have a track. Like, actually, the vocals in there were like, we were in the middle of writing it. I like tracked those on the mic. We ended like those vocals. I wasn't even like thinking that I was like, oh, we'll re-record this. It's fine. But I was like, we don't have time. Like, they sound good. Like, so it was like crazy. It was all happening very live.
Wow. Okay. So did you have like a pretty big following on TikTok or something prior to that, or just,
no? In a day, I got 200,000 followers in one day. I just kept sobbing. Like I would like check my phone and be like, I have another 100,000, and Steve Aoki commented. Like,
wow.
I was, like, sobbing. Yeah.
I can't even. I would imagine that's got to be something close to like winning the lottery. Just like. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, it
like,
is.
Fathom
it literally
right?
statistically, like, I think is. Like, I was actually with my friend last night, and she was like, Emeline, I think you won TikTok. Like, you, like,
really?
this
Seriously?
is the dream. Like, this is what, like, this is, you know, everything that I could have dreamed of when I'm like, you know, I should get on TikTok. Like, you think about this being a possible outcome. And then when I was living the outcome, and I was like, no fucking way. Like, I think, I had just hit 10,000 followers. And now I just hit yesterday, I hit 500,000. So
wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, so it's huge. Still like, you know, and then this is how I learned to say no. I didn't imagine that song coming out, actually. It was a very therapeutic song for me to write. And, and then I there was a video that went viral of me playing it for my dad. Which was somewhat staged as well.
Okay.
But that's the video that went viral. But yeah, he was just like, he was emotional. He was very proud of me listening to it. He was like emotional about it. And I think, you know, the lyrics under it, people were like, there were so many different layers of like what it meant. Cause like I was speaking about my personal life in the song, and my family life. And yeah, so there was a lot of like layers to that TikTok going viral, but I was so excited that I got another one after the first one.
I was gonna say,
like,
that's like
a one-hit wonder,
back. Right?
Yeah, but then I was like, wow, that is big dick energy to, you know, back to back.
That really is. I mean, think about it. So do you know where the fire began with Flowers and Sex? Like, who was do you know the first person was to kind of like push it up? And I would imagine it made it in the For You page, and then people are seeing it, and then it's gradually.
Yeah, I think that Phineas had commented, because I know he has me in his contacts, so I'm assuming that it like came on his thing, and he was like, "Oh my god, like cool song."
Oh.
But probably that pushed it. Although he didn't even comment on the viral one, so I'm not sure. And I also think like hashtags. I was very like strategic about. I had made a caption that was like, take 800 trying to make my song go viral, so there was a bit of like a competition element. I think like everything matters, the where you placed your lyrics so that people keep watching. I had put a little
Sure.
thing in there on TikTok like wait for the drop, like there was so many things that I had thought about, but I was like, I hit upload and it was a shitty video. Like I'm jumping around in my overalls, my broken glasses. Like I wasn't thinking that this was like, if I had known, maybe I would have like, put on like a little, like, I don't know. But also I think what killed it about that TikTok is that it was like so clearly just so genuine. Like I'm jumping around in overalls talking about being sexually liberated. Like that is my brand to a T. So
That I was gonna say, if it was too polished, it might not have gotten.
yeah, if I was like there in a push-up bra, like I mean, it wouldn't have. I mean, depending on my mood, but
right. But I mean,
it
there's
would have
something
felt
to
like
the
you're trying. Like if I had a ring light, sometimes it's like better to just like be where you are in your element because people are like, "That's a dope girl making music in someone's house," which is exactly what was happening. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I would imagine that you are probably like once that's happening, it's like, how do I follow this up? Was that like a
A
doubt?
little bit. Yeah, there's definitely like something I think that a lot of songwriters fall into where it's like, oh, we got to keep writing about sex now because that's what worked. Or like,
Right.
you know, I feel very grateful that like This Is How I Learned to Say No is has such a different angle at it, which I think like really showed like sort of more layers to me. And I'm really grateful that I wasn't like, let me stay too deeply in this pocket. Like I think sonically that's important to
Mhm.
create like real artistry, but like I'm so glad I didn't get stuck in that. And then, you know, the other one had such a different type of journey. Um, and I'm just I feel a little bit lucky, and also like I feel like it's a lot of preparation, a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
hard work. Yeah.
Yeah. I would it's not very much luck. I mean, maybe to get the quick viral, 200,000
Yeah.
followers real quick. I mean, but it again, if you didn't have
Real
the songs
quick,
that well, you said it happened like overnight, right? Like
crazy.
200,000.
It
I
was
mean,
crazy.
that's real quick.
I know it is so quick.
But yeah, I mean, the song wasn't good, people wouldn't go over to your Spotify and listen to it, 11 million times, right?
Yeah, and then like, I feel very lucky that it transcended to Spotify because sometimes things live in just TikTok world, sometimes they
Hmm.
live in different so it but it's crazy how much TikTok is running the charts on Spotify. I will never forget when that song was blowing up. I did not sleep the entire night. I was just like refreshing, like pulling my notification page down, being like, what else is happening? Um
Yeah, it's got to be like aside from winning the
oh
lottery, it's got to be like a slot machine too. It's like, okay, now what is
God, the
that? What is it at?
serotonin.
What
I
is it
was like,
at?
if people knew how to like put that, like that was like I felt like I was like on a drug. Like I was like this refreshing my phone, like it literally is serotonin that you're like
Mhm.
experiencing, but like it was insane. Like,
Wow. You said this is how I learned to say no is a therapeutic moment writing that song. Do you want to talk about that at all?
yeah, I just kind of like had decided. I mean, I was going through the moment of going viral, and I think like it was like a new phase in my life, and I
Hmm.
had to like really evaluate it and consider who I wanted like energy wise around me during such a like pivotal moment, who I needed on my team, who like, and I just decided like I was done like putting up with like negative people, and I had like I decided to like cut someone out of my life. I decided to like confront people who had hurt me. It was like this kind of like breaking point for me. It was like I was like, you know what, I'm deserving what I'm getting right now, and I don't want to put up with shit while I enter this new era and this new career. And so I had set like a million boundaries. Like I had to fire someone. I told off my ex. Like it was like this list of things. And I had like I literally like there's lyrics about my family and like empowering my mom to like make the right decision for her. Like my parents got divorced. It was like it really was like an accumulation of everything in the middle of this viral moment. And so the verse is sort of like a list of this thing and this thing and this thing, and then it like you know it's all about doing things for yourself and like loving yourself enough to do so. Um, and there were all these like, it was just a tornado of boundary setting that I had to do, and I had to be very strong. And I think this song really encapsulates that strength that like is not easy to do. I originally wrote the song in past tense, and then I accidentally uploaded it to TikTok in present tense, and then I decided to change all the lyrics to be present tense because I was like, it's a forever learning process, and I wanted it was more important for me to give that to my fans because everyone who was experiencing it, I feel like it added a new layer for them to be encouraged to learn. And like putting it in past tense sort of boxed it into more of a storybook experience, which was my original idea of the song. But it was cool. It was really cool to see, like, every day I get DMs about women divorcing their toxic husbands because of this song, and
Wow.
they're learning to do it and standing up for themselves, and and there's so many things that it applies to, like drugs and like body issues, and like there's just so much to that people struggle to say no to. I think especially when people are inherently um, empaths or kind. Sometimes it's hard for those type of really good-hearted people to set boundaries. So having the two coexist is such a powerful thing, and it's just like I feel like it's been so clear that my mission in life is to help heal these people, and like music is my medium to do so. Um, I've created some relationships with some of the fans, and like they'll DM me and be like, "I told Henry to fuck off today," like, and I'm like, "Yes, bitch." She's like, "I this one woman." She's like, "I flipped him off with my stiletto nails." Like, yeah. So I have these like, I really really like seeing the impact is incredibly emotional because obviously I'm writing about these specific things that are my experience, and then being able to give that to all these other people and then being able to receive that energy back and then be inspired by that is like a whole new layer. And there's just all these layers to the song that like I like this, the meaning to me has evolved since releasing it and receiving all this like energy back.
Hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. It must be amazing to see something that, yeah, I mean, like that, like something you work so hard at, and it's something that meant so personal, something that meant so much to you, and putting it out and seeing the reaction of everybody else and them feeding off of it and then almost returning it to you saying, "Oh my gosh, then I did
Yeah.
this, I flicked them off, I did that." And you're like, wow,
Yeah.
like,
And I mean, they empowered me because of their comments encouraging me, and after Flowers and Sex and seeing everybody say thank you, and like seeing everybody, and then I, after everybody was like, I cut this person off because of your song, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the same thing. And then like that encouraged me to make actual personal life changes. So it is really like, when I say like I love my fans, like it is, they have completely changed my life, like not only my career but like set me up to love myself, I guess.
I love that. That's so amazing. And the success you've had is incredible. Obviously, you've been working at this a long time, so it's not like it was just some fluke thing that happened. And I mean, to follow up a viral video with another one is, in
I
itself
can't
something
believe
crazy.
it. Yeah, I was like, we gotta get another one. I was like telling my managers, like, what would be cooler than one viral video, you guys? Two viral videos. But
Totally.
they didn't know about that song when I uploaded it. They didn't even see it in the group chat. They texted me after that. They were like, "What song is this?"
Well,
And
which
I was
one?
like, "This
This
is
is
how I
how I
learned to
learned to
say
say
no."
no. Really?
They were like, "What is this song that is blowing up right now?" And I was like, "Oh, I wrote it the other day. I forgot to send it to you guys. Sorry."
Whoops. But
Like,
hey,
well,
look at
let's
how
release
well
it
it's
though.
going. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You should
That's cool.
probably throw up a pre-save link.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
definitely.
it was like we had like, I forget, maybe it was like, was it 8,000 pre-saves? It was like crazy. It was insane, like all because of TikTok.
Wow. Wow. And I would
Yeah.
imagine you have a lot more music ready to come out.
Yeah, I am doing a few more singles. I don't have a date for the next one, but I um have a title. It's called Fixer Upper. And that one is gonna be next. I'll do a few more singles, and then I'm gonna release an EP and body of work situation and music videos. I'm having one come out for the next single, and also for This Is How I Learned to Say No. I'm gonna do a video.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. What about playing
Yeah.
live? Do you have any shows coming up? Are you excited to share this in a live setting?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so excited for shows. I have nothing planned. I'm like sort of in the process of I want to pick something really special and intimate to do in LA and start there. And then yeah,
And then
but
Rhode
like
Island?
I love oh yeah, we gotta hit you gotta hit like the dream hometown venues too,
Of
like
course.
the full circle.
Very cool. Well, Emmeline, thank you so much for talking with me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, that was fun.
I have one more
Hearing more.
question.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for aspiring artists?
I think I alluded to this earlier, but be patient. It is the most important thing. It can just be a matter of time. Like, believe in yourself enough to give you yourself space and time to develop. Like, success does not happen overnight. Um, yeah, and work with people who are nice to you
I love it.
and that you fuck with because the energy will manifest into the music.
Bringing it backward.